on behalf of the Vedanta Center of Greater Austin, and to participate in today's talk by Swami Ishatmananda Maharaj. By way of introduction, Maharaj is well known, nothing much to mention except a few details which many of you may not know. Now, Maharaj is the religious advisor to the University of Chicago since 2014. Maharaj was here in our center before, and at that time during satsang he used to say, sadhu does not mean he should be mild and soft. He should be strong. This reminded us the message from Swami Vivekananda, muscles of iron and nerves of steel. And Maharaj illustrated during satsang, he illustrated how in his own life he came across crisis and used the strength of mind and the physical strength, everything to overcome the crisis. And Maharaj has superior exemplary organizing capacity. For most devotees in US and overseas, mention of Swami Ishatmananda Maharaj automatically flashes the name Chicago calling. Yes, indeed. And Maharaj was posted to Vedanta Society Chicago in 2013. After spending just 6 months in the US, he tried to venture into organizing a huge historic international event, Chicago Calling. And that is to celebrate 150th birth anniversary of Swami Vivekananda. Even his brother disciples cautioned him, you spent just 6 months in US. The US system is not very much familiar to you. But Maharaj went ahead boldly, and everyone saw how successful that event was. And Maharaj narrated to us during satsang, he faced tremendous trouble during the organization. For example, someone who promised $1 million sponsorship has withdrawn his sponsorship just 1 week prior to the event. How tension-packed and pressure-packed it was, but Maharaj overcame all these hurdles, and he mentions that's all because of Holy Mother's grace. And another miracle in Andaman Islands. And Maharaj, on one occasion in satsang, he used to say, even a fool can do miracles with the grace of Holy Mother. When someone pressed him, Maharaj, where is the proof? And Maharaj narrated the whole incident description, what took place in Andaman Islands. And when he landed there, just 1 or 2 people were there to receive him at the airport. But when he established the Ramakrishna mission with all the hurdles and interesting events, and he was departing Andaman Islands, at that time, hundreds of people gathered at the airport to see him off. That was a miracle. And another interesting thing I have noticed, these days of COVID-19, we always come across YouTube, Zoom talks, and those talks are always on topics like Upanishad, Mandakya Upanishad, Kada Upanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad, Vedas, Advaita Vedanta, Bhagavad Gita, Patanjali. But rarely we see topic like Bhagavatam. Maharaj gives series of lectures in Bhagavatam, and I heard one, and I felt Maharaj is making Bhagavatam sweeter than Bhagavad Gita. And with this, I will hand you over to Shonak, who has something to announce on the protocol of Q&A after Maharaj's talk. Shonak, now it's you.
So basically, Pranam Maharajji. So I will be the moderator for today's session, and it is my request to everybody to please refrain your questions till the end of the talk. And once the talk is over and in the meantime, if you have some questions, please raise what you call a Zoom hand, and so that will put us in the queue. And once that is done, after the talk, we can probably ask basically one by one to answer to ask your questions directly to Maharajji. Okay, and I think hopefully this would be an interactive discussion, and we look forward to the exciting session. Okay, to Maharajji.
Okay.
Harigal, thanks a lot.
Nice.
And actually, welcome to our BCGA session again.
Okay, so now good morning to all of you, and it's a very auspicious day and also the moment, because today is Ganesh Chaturthi. You know that devoted Hindus, they always everywhere they're celebrating the Ganesha. So let me start this program by offering our pranam to the Lord Ganesha, the first god. Any other gods or goddesses, before worshipping them, we have to worship the Ganesha. Vakratundam Mahakayam Shuryo Koti Samaprabha Nirvidunam Kurume Deva Sarva Karyesu Sarvada. The Vakratundam Mahakayam is a huge body, and he is having a strong trunk. Shuryo Koti Samaprabha, and like the thousands of suns, he is having that glare, we can say. And Nirvidunam Kurume Deva, please protect me from every problem. Sarva Karyesu Sarvada, and be with me and give me success in all my efforts. That is the prayer to the Ganesha. Linga Purana and Padma Purana, they narrate the birth of the Ganesha. There are some stories, I am not going to that. And the Ganesha's mother is goddess Durga. But Shiva is not the father. Why? Mother Durga's mind-born son is Ganesha. The Shiva was meditating for a long period of time, and Mother Durga was thinking what to do. So as being a mother, she wanted a son. So she made out of her mind a beautiful son, and then taught him different things, scriptures and others, and also in military arms, also military training. So he was a very powerful warrior, Ganesha. Then the mother told, now I am going for bathing, protect me, so be over here, so no one should come. As the story goes, the Shiva came by that time. Shiva first called the Mother Durga. She came down from the meditation and then sent his people to call Mother Durga, but Ganesha told, no, you cannot go to the mother. And they were wondering where from this boy has come. Very good looking, but very arrogant. So what to do? They started fighting with the Ganesha, but Ganesha in no time defeated them. They went back like the Nandi, Bringi, so powerful. They went back and then reported to Shiva. Shiva got curious, who is this boy? And why he is behaving like this? Where is Durga? Shiva himself came. And the boy never knew Shiva. So he challenged Shiva also. And Shiva became angry. And before Parvati came out and tell that it is your son, it is my son, the Shiva cut his head with the trident. And the Parvati became very angry. Then all other gods like the Vishnu and others, they came, they pacified the mother, and somehow an elephant head was placed on that. That the body is human and the head is elephant. Now why this? This is a story. Always the Hindus, Puranas, they make the stories And behind this story, there is a truth. And what is that truth? Gana Isha. If you look at the name, Gana, he is everywhere. Gana means everything, everyone. Gana. Isha, it means God. So each and every one is nothing but the manifestation of God in different forms. There is pure Vedanta in that form, the Gana. And this Gana Isha, he is having 4 hands, and as the Hindu always goes for the symbolic, so for one hand is holding an axe, that is to cut the karma phala of the people. And second is the lotus. It is the devotion or the enlightenment that is given to him. And third is a laddu, that is called modaka. Is a different type of sweet. This modaka is a symbol of the joy after a spiritual success. And then finally the 4th hand, it shows the avaya. Always, all gods and all goddesses, it gives the avaya. So don't be afraid, I am here. This is the Ganesha. So offering our pranam to this Lord Ganesha and remembering him, let us begin the Bhagavata, part of the Bhagavata. Sometimes it is people, they say Bhagavata is the scripture of the devotees. It may be, the devotees can always read it, and some of the Vaishnavas, they say it is our scripture, as the Upanishads, Brahma Sutra is the scripture of the Vedantin. The Bhagavata, some people they consider, but you know, the Bhagavata was narrated by Shukadeva, and this Shukadeva is the greatest sannyasi that ever people have seen. He was so pure right from his birth. This Shukadeva is narrating the stories of the Bhagavata, the stories of Sri Vishnu, to a person, Parikshit, the king Parikshit, who was waiting for the death. Within the 7 days he was supposed to die, that was the curse. And so the Parikshit was waiting for the death. A man who is waiting for the death and certain that after the 7 days he is going to die, then we can understand his mind is one-pointed. There will be no other things, no other cravings, no other desire. That is also a pure mind. So in that condition, the pure Shukadeva, he goes and narrates the story, and story of Lord Vishnu. It is a 12th adhyayas are there, the skanda they say. In one skanda there are so many chapters, and up to the 9th it is all about the Vishnu and Vishnu without form. And then comes in the 9th chapter, it says that Brahma, ultimately Brahma was the firstborn. So Vishnu created the Brahma and gave him the knowledge and said, you better create this universe and I like to enjoy. So that is the way the creation goes. In the Vedanta, it says, Ekaham Bahushyama Vehi. Friends, I like to give you the beginning of the creation. Unless and until we know the creation, we won't be able to understand why we are striving for the spirituality, why we are studying the scripture, what is the necessity of the scripture. Now there are 2 parallel things constantly, the thoughts, you can say philosophy, the constantly flowing in the Hinduism. The one is the knowledge, another is devotion. So these 2 are so common in the human being. We like to understand, we like to analyze, then only we accept. And another is emotion. So that emotion and the analytical capacity, it is always present in the human being. So the jnana, knowledge path, and bhakti, the devotional path. So these 2, they flow together. Here also, as the human beings slowly, they were progressing, and the religion was also developing in that form. In the beginning, it was the Brahma who was created. But how? That we find in the Bhagavata, Eko Nanattam Annichan. Eko, the one, Nanattam, to become many, Anichan, desiring to become many, Mayaya, through that power of God, through illusion, Basrijat Tridha, he divided himself in three different parts. In Vedanta it says that the Supreme Brahman, which is consciousness all pervading, and that Supreme Brahman suddenly he thought, and we do not know why he thought, Ekaham Bahushyama Vihi, I am alone, I am one, I want to be many. So that is the way the Vedantin they explain. And that the same thing, if you understand this, Eka, that is one, Nanattam Varnichat, desirous to become many, Mayaya Basrijat, through the Maya, through the delusion, and what he did, Tridha, he divided himself in three different forms. Here it says, God wished, or the Supreme Being, the Brahman wished, and immediately creation came. But in the Bhagavata it says, he wanted to become many and therefore divided himself into three different parts. What are the parts? Adi Daiva, Adhyatma and Adibhuta. These are the three. One is Adi Daiva, divine, Adhyatma, human, and Adibhuta, matter. So these three things are there. Why they say matter and Adhyatma, human and the matter? Because in the matter there is no life. In the human that life is present, but in the matter also it is there. But as if it is not there, because the manifestation of the consciousness in the matter is very, very less. In the stone, in the woods, that same consciousness is there, but the manifestation of the consciousness is very less. But in the human being, this consciousness is very highly manifested, and that is why they said. So it goes in this way. And then the Brahma, when he created one Swayambhu Manu and Satarupa. Slowly in the Bhagavata it goes through the stories. So I am just trying to give you an idea how the stories goes. The Bhagavata says the Swayambhu Manu and the Satarupa. Third Skanda, 22nd chapter, 15 to 16 verses, they talk about this father and the mother of the Kapila. The Kapila is the son, so he will teach. Those who are interested, you can read that part of the Bhagavata, the third Skanda, 22nd chapter. It goes in this way. Now the God, the Supreme God, the Mahavishnu, they say, the word the Vishnu means all pervading. And the Brahma, or the Brahman, in the Vedanta, Brahman means all pervading consciousness. And again in the Bhagavata it is Vishnu. And what is the meaning of the word Vishnu? All pervading God. Is there any difference? All the time, all pervading. Now the question comes, if it is all pervading, how then it can have a form? The form means limited. And what type of form? That the first time in the 9th chapter we find that all pervading the personality. Only Brahma and Shiva could see, and no other gods. They couldn't see that form. So he came in that form, all pervading everything. That is also again as a Sri Krishna, he showed it in the Bhagavad Gita. We read in the 11th chapter, Vishwarupa Darshan, everything in that God. So the Ganesha also the same, Vishnu also the same, all pervading everything. That is the idea. Now here the story goes in this way. The Brahma, he created the Kardama. He created means mind born. He just thought, and from his thought, the yogi was created. His name was Kardama. The Brahma asked him, you better go and start the family and develop this world. He said, no, I am not going to marry. I won't do that. I am going to meditate. Because right from the Brahma, he was born, and Brahma was the Sattika, the pure. So naturally, his children were also like that. So what to do? The Brahma was creating the rishis. And after creating the rishis, when they asked them, you better go and start the creation because the great God has asked me to do that. Now you are my children, you go. They said, no, we are going to meditate. Because the father was having that quality. And again, he created his best 4 sons. They are famous as son brothers. Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatan, Sanat Kumar, the famous son brothers. They also refused to do that. Then Brahma meditated and told, what is the problem? Why my children are not listening to me? Then ultimately he understood that he is not separating them from himself. So he gave the ahamkara. He put the ahamkara that separated them from the Brahma, and this called Prajapati. Praja means the masses, and Pati is the ruler. So this Prajapatis, they were born out of Brahma, but with ego. So they separated. So what is the problem? What makes us separate? Ego. So now we are trying to go back to the God, to the source. So why we are trying? Because we are not satisfied. Why we are not satisfied after having everything? We have got the education, we have got the success in our professional life, we have money, we have the house, we have family. Then why somewhere in the corner of our mind the dissatisfaction is there? Is a man, the human being is always dissatisfied. And it is not his fault. That is his nature. Why? Because unless and until he gets the original, the reality, his own self, he can never become satisfied. So to get the satisfaction, so what is the ultimate goal of the spiritual life? Whatever path we may follow, ultimate goal is to get the complete satisfaction. And how the complete satisfaction come? The devotees will say after God realization, and the Vedantin will say after realization of the self, Brahma Jnana or Ishwar Lava. After this only you can become satisfied, not before that. So this is now slowly the God himself understood that we cannot make them suffer like that. So he wanted to come down and give them the training, teaching. Different type of the highly spiritual people, they were already there. They are called the rishis, and they are the holy people. They were narrating, they are practicing and narrating the religion, and they were going back to the source. They were becoming very happy. They were teaching, but as the human society was spreading, so it needed the explanation. Friends, you have noticed that the Upanishad, they never give any explanation. Because Siddhanta Grantha means they give only the verdict. They give only the statement of fact. Whether you like it or not, accept it or not, it doesn't matter for the Upanishad. They don't give any argument. They simply, Ishavashamidam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat. This world is nothing but pervaded by the Isha, the God, the Supreme Consciousness. That is the statement of fact. How it is, they won't explain. But time came when the human society wanted to understand logically how it is happening. So the philosophy was necessary. And to give that philosophy, the same Vishnu, the Lord Vishnu, he said, Kardama, you better marry, and then I will born as your son. The Kardama was a great ascetic. He was a highly realized soul. But the Lord Vishnu, when he said, you better marry and I will become your son, from here the story begins. This is the mother and the son. We have heard that the husband is giving spiritual teaching to the wife. But this is the first time the son is giving spiritual teaching to the mother. And mother was Shatarupa. So story goes in this way. The Brahma's son is the Kardama. And the daughter, his mother, Kapila's mother, was Swayambhuva's daughter. Swayambhuva was a Manu. Swayambhuva was, we can say, a king. And his daughter was Devahuti. This Devahuti, he was married to Kardama. Kardama married because the Vishnu told. And afterwards, their children, they started taking birth, but all girls. So naturally, Kardama, he told the Lord Vishnu was supposed to come as a boy. And why these girls? After the 9 girls, then the Kardama decided, no, I think the Vishnu is not going to keep his word. So I should leave. He told his wife, no, I cannot spend my life in this way. I was waiting for the Lord Vishnu to come because he promised to become my son. But he is not taking birth. That means he won't keep his word. I am going to leave. Then this Devahuti, she requested that as long as the Lord has given the word, his promise, he is going to keep his promise. Until he become your son, you have to stay back in this life, family life. So there he continued. And luckily the 10th child was the Lord Vishnu. And this Lord Vishnu got the name Kapila. The Kapila, his father is Kardama and mother is Devahuti. So friends, from here we will start the conversation between the mother and the father and the son. And this we find the Kardama Muni and the Devahuti. After that, the Kardama Muni, he wanted to leave the hearth and home, but he wanted to say goodbye to his newborn son, and he knew he is not an ordinary son, he is the Mahavishnu. So he went to the Mahavishnu and he said, I am leaving. Then the Vishnu said, of course you can leave, because I gave the word and I have to keep my promise, so I have taken the human form. Friends, here I like to tell you what is dharma, what is religion. You know, the religion, we are so confused all over the world. All human beings in any different forms, they are practicing dharma, but they do not know that dharma means only keeping the promises and nothing else. Just keep your promise. Whatever the promise you have made, you must have to keep that. Live up to that. When the kings, they are also taking the administrators, the president and the prime ministers and the ministers, they are all taking the oath. If they keep that oath, the whole country will be really wonderfully ruled by them, and it will progress, prosper, just keeping the words. The doctors, the engineers, any profession, we take the oath. At the time of marriage, we take the oath. At the time of sannyasa, we take the oath. And human life is nothing but keeping the words. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna was married and they were poor, and on that particular day of marriage, that Sri Ramakrishna's mother, she brought some the golden the jewelries and gave it to the mother. And next day she took it out and returned it back. The little mother, Ma Sharadamani Devi, she was crying, "Where are the jewelries?" Then she told, "My son will give you the golden jewelries." And Sri Ramakrishna, who never could touch the money, he kept the promise. And he used to get the 8 rupee salary from the temple. And almost every month he used to count how much money has come. So is it sufficient to purchase a gold jewelry, something? Then ultimately when he got the answer yes, and he purchased 2 bangles for the mother. The bangles in the same way he saw in the hand of the Sita. And still it is there in the Bagbajar, Mayurbari. And then he said, "I kept the promise of my mother." Ramchandra kept the promise of his father. Each and every step, if you notice, it is only keeping the promise and nothing else. Sri Krishna kept the promise that I will not kill that person, I am forgetting the name, Shishupala. Shishupala's mother came and told that he is an arrogant son, but my son, please don't kill him. He won't be able to fight with you, I know, you are God. Then Krishna told, 100 times I will forgive him. The 101, then he will. So keeping the promise, every step, everywhere, keeping the promise is the dharma. And to keep the promise, that Supreme Lord, who is known as Vishnu, took the form as a Kapila, and he became the son of the Kardama and Devahuti. Now the father left Kardama, he left for practicing austerity again. And the son, the Vishnu, he was also, all knowledge was there. He told his mother, "Mother, I'll also like to go and practice austerity." Then the mother, Devahuti, she told, "So that your father has left. Now you are also leaving. I don't have any problem with that. But what about me? Shall I be over here in this world and suffer? I know you are God. I know you are Vishnu. I know that you have that knowledge. Why don't you give me that knowledge by which I too can get the liberation?" That was the first question. Can you please teach me some method by which a simple person like me get the liberation? Then the son is telling his mother, "You are a princess. Will you be able to practice the spirituality which is so hard and a strong discipline for a long time? Maybe that you won't get this comfort that you are habituated." And he is telling, it is the "Ma khido Rajputri ittam atmaban pratya nindite bhagavanate aksharo garbham adurat samprapat sate." The Lord of the royal descent, the lady of the royal descent. He is addressing the mother as the lady of the royal descent, Rajputri. Ma khido Rajputri. Don't think yourself as the helpless woman. Why? Don't think that you are a helpless woman. When the Jesus was dying on the cross, his mother came and she was crying. And the Jesus said almost the same words. "Don't cry, O lady, because you have God, the Son of God, as your son." Here we find, long before the Jesus, the same, the Vishnu is telling the mother, "Don't think that you are a helpless woman. The Lord Mahavishnu has born as your son." So Devahuti understand in this way. And the Maitra, that is the discussion is going on. The Devahuti, he was addressing the Kardama, "You must teach me." And slowly Kardama went away. "Paribrajat padabim asthita aham vishoka charishe." I desire to take the life of a monk. Paribrajat. Paribrajat means the monk, those who go to different places. I like to take. Now he is telling in this way, Jiggashaya aham prakriti purushasya navami satkarma vidama varishtam. I won't recite this Sanskrit much so that you can understand the English better. The Sanskrit will be too heavy for you can say, but if you are reading the book, then slowly you can understand. And this lecture is there in our YouTube, because I delivered this lecture, and he is asking, I seek shelter in thee because you are the best teacher. The mother is telling to the son, for the first question, I seek shelter in thee because you are the best teacher. Like you are like an axe, kutaram, you cut the tree of samsara for thy servants. Sharanam sabhritta samsara taro. The mother is telling the son, I am like your servant, and you please teach me. When someone is giving the spiritual knowledge, becoming the guru, he is the highest. Maybe that his age is, by age he is junior or whatever, but he is the highest because he is giving the mukti, the source of liberation through knowledge. Then the Kapila began by praising the benefit of spiritual concentration. The concentrating the mind on the high spiritual object. Yoga Adhyatmika Pumsam Mata Nistreya Sarame. He said, according to me, the Kapila is telling, if you concentrate your mind on the highest object, that is the supreme knowledge, that's called yoga. Yoga means union. You are uniting with what? The source. They are going back to the source, and that is the highest. In this view of the wise, the mind indeed is the cause of both bondage and liberation. Friends, here we think that we are bound, but some people, our gurus, they think they are free. What is the difference? They are also just like us. The Swami Vivekananda, Sri Ramakrishna, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all the great souls, they were just like us. They also eat, they also used to sleep, and they also felt the way we feel. Then where is the difference? Only thought, just in the thought and nothing else. In the thinking, when we are thinking that we are bound, we are bound. When we are thinking that we are free, we are free. This is so simple in that way. But only thing is, we have to understand from what we should be free and with what we should be attached to. These are the two things. Now, in the Bhagavad Gita, we find two words, Kshetra, Kshetragya. Kshetra means this creation, and Kshetragya is the creator. Now, if we go to the creator, then we don't need the creation. I will tell you that wonderful incident that happened just before the Mahabharata Great War, Kurukshetra Yuddha. Both the Arjuna and also Duryodhana, they went to Lord Krishna to invite, because in those days the Kshatriyas, when there will be a war, so they used to invite their relatives and the friends. Both of them went. At the same time they went, and at that time Krishna was sleeping. But both of them, they were known, so they were allowed to go inside his bedroom. The Arjuna went and sat at the feet of the Krishna, and there was only one chair at the side of the head of the Krishna. So Duryodhana went and sat on the chair because he had that the pride of a king, and Arjuna was sitting because he was a friend and brother. So he was there. Krishna got up, saw Arjuna first and said, "What's the matter?" Arjuna told, "I have come to invite you." And then he turned, "Oh, you have also come, Duryodhana. What's the matter?" "I have also come to invite you to this great war." Then the Krishna said, "We have to concentrate in this particular question and answer." He said, "Well, since both of you have come, I have to give you something at least. Now, I am alone in one side, and that too I am promising that I am not taking part in the war. I will never fight for you, but I will be with you." This is one side. Another side, very well trained, very well armed, heavily armed, my soldiers. What do you want? The first option was given to Arjuna. Duryodhana protested, "No, no, no, I came first." Because Duryodhana was thinking that Arjuna will surely take the soldiers. Friends, this is called vichara. Creation and the creator. What is the creation? All those thousands of soldiers. And who is the master? Krishna. Now, if we make the mistake, we'll suffer. The same thing happened. Duryodhana was thinking, "Oh my God, Arjuna will surely," and he was vehemently protesting, "This is not the best way." No, I saw him first. That means God wanted to know the mind of Arjuna. Arjuna was in great problem. But because he was a devotee, he was a lover of God, he decided, "I want you, Krishna. Even if you are not fighting for me, just be with me. Your presence is sufficient for me." Love for God, faith in God. If He is with me, that is sufficient. And Duryodhana, we can feel, he was so happy. Arjuna is so idiot. He is only taking the Krishna alone. And this is the world with so many things. And the world can give you so many things, but all temporary. World can give you everything, physical comfort, name, fame, everything. But only thing you won't get, that is the peace, that is the joy, that is the satisfaction. No, that is the problem. We don't get the satisfaction. So, I will tell you the one incident that happened in Belur Math. We were in training center, and at the time of Durga Puja, you know, the thousands and thousands of people will be coming and visiting. They like to give the donation. But that is the tradition of the Hindus. Whenever they will go to a temple, they like to give the donation. But the only one or two donation box here and there, that was not sufficient. So they decided, authority decided, the brahmacharis, they will be sitting in different corner, different places. So a different group of people will go and can give the donation. Myself and two other brahmacharis, we were sitting just in front of our Bharat Maharaj office. Bharat Maharaj was the manager of the Belur Math, a very famous Swami. So we were collecting the donation, and it was really busy time. Suddenly one young boy came and he asked me. So I was also a brahmachari, but he told, "Why you people have accepted the monastic life?" At that moment, what to answer? But I remembered that three people entered into the room of the Bharat Maharaj and door was closed, and one was Suchitra Sen. She was the beautiful, the actress. Many of you can maybe knowing. That time she was so famous. The Suchitra Sen. Another is Borun Sen Gupta. He was a very powerful writer. Even the Indira Gandhi used to be afraid of Borun Sen Gupta's comments. The very powerful writer. And third was, so far I can remember, and the governor of either Uttar Pradesh or from there, the governor. I told that young man, I told, "See, three people are inside. One is a representative of the government, the governor. So that is the highest post. Another is so intelligent and powerful in writing. And third is the most beautiful lady. And if the people come to know that Suchitrashen is here, they will not go to the Durgapur Mandir shrine. They will all come over here to see Suchitrashen. So that is the attraction, the physical beauty, intellectual power, and the position in the society. All these three, they have come to a place, and the Swami, who is not at all good looking. You have seen the Bharat Maharaj perhaps. He was not at all good looking. He was hardly school final. So he never knew English to speak, and not good in Hindi too, but broken Hindi he could speak. And he was not that way considered intelligent. And of course he was not having any power. He was only the manager of the Belur Math, that's all. Why these people have come to meet this person who is not having beauty, not having intellect, not having the social power? Why they have come? Because this man is having one thing which is precious, this worldly beauty, intellect, and the power cannot give, and that is satisfaction, santosha. And I want to get that peace, that happiness, that joy in my life, so I have accepted this monastic life. That was my answer to that boy. So this is the way. What is that spirituality? This. Now the mother, when she is asking how to get this spiritual knowledge, then it is only the mother. Gunesu saktam baddhaya. Because of the qualities we are bound. And how to prove this? In the Vedanta and the Hinduism, they say each and every one is made of three qualities. What? Sattva, Raja and Tama. Almost all the Hindus they know, and now because of the Hinduism spreading so fast, many of the Westerners are also acquainted with this type of terminologies, Sattva, Raja, Tama. Then I was listening some of the talks, then one lady was giving a talk and she said karma phala. So now these words are becoming used by these people and they are understanding. And she was telling, this is my karma phala. So this karma phala, what is this karma phala? Because the Sattva, Raja and Tama. What is the Sattva, Raja and Tama? Good, pure good, mixture of good and bad, Raja, and pure bad. So pure good, pure bad, in between the mixture. And we are that. Three are there. Tama is there, Raja is there, and Sattva also is there. What we should do? Understanding that I have to increase the Sattva guna, the qualities, I should try to practice, and that is called spiritual practices. Here, the Kapila, he gave that advices to his mother. I won't go sloka after sloka, that is, I'll just tell you that he said that you have to develop the Sattva guna. But how you will know what are the Sattva gunas? Then the Kapila said, you must go to a monk, a sadhu. A sadhu is not a monk actually. Sadhu means a good person. Do we translate the sadhu means a monk? No. Sadhu means a good person. And what is this good person? Having good qualities. What are those good qualities? In the Bhagavata, in the conversation, the Kapila is also giving the list. But at the same time, it will be easy for you to find out the 16th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. Almost all Hindus are having the Gita. Just open the 16th chapter, first 3 verses. That's all. First 3 verses, the 26 good qualities that has been listed by Sri Krishna, and if a few of them we practice in our life, that is a sadhu. Sadhu means all those best qualities, good qualities. So what is God realization? Developing some good qualities. And what are those good qualities? First is without any ego. Nirahamkara. Ni means negative. Ahamkara, ni. Ahamkara means ego, without ego. But self-confidence will be there. I am a scientist. I am going to find out the vaccine. So I am trying for that. That confidence should be there. But no ego. I am the only person I can do and no one else. No, not like that. So the confidence is there but not the ego. That is called the first quality. Swami Vivekananda introduced this to the whole Indian mind. The Indian people right from the, we can say, 11th century to the 17th, 18th century, they were under the subjugation of the Muslims and the British rule. So that's why they lost all the self-confidence. They used to think that everything is bad, nothing is good in our country. Till now some people think in that way. I don't know whether you have heard, I told that story. That is just funny story. I don't think that is true. Some people, the Bengalis are very fond of constantly telling the funny stories. So they love so much the foreign things. Anything foreign, they think in India, anything foreign, they are so happy. This is foreign. The one lady was having some problem in the eye. So the husband took her to the doctor, and the doctor told, oh no, it is not, no problem. If the foreign particle is there in the eye, I am going to remove it. The lady jumped out of the chair and said, why? Foreign particle in my eye and you are going to read. So we don't get foreign things, and since it has come to my eye, I am not going to take it out. So that much ignorance and the love for the foreign things are always there. What is this? The wrong conception. What is the conception? That I am going to be happy if I become a doctor, an engineer, a professional, or a politician. We always make that type of, that these are the things, these are my goal, I am going to be happy. Then if I marry that particular lady or that particular gentleman, we are going to be happy. If we get that house or this, we are going to be happy. So constantly we are going on thinking, and ultimately after having that, in the that Rabindranath told, Jaha chai taha bhool kore chai, Jaha pai taha chai na. Whatever I am praying, that wrongly I pray for that, and when I get that, I understand I never wanted that. So this is the problem. Why? Mind. So what we should do, we have to, at Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, the first thing he said, you have to go to the Satsanga, Sadhu Sangha. And what is this Sadhu Sangha? The one who will understand your mind and will guide you properly for developing slowly towards the God, the Supreme, because there only the complete satisfaction there and nothing else. Can you please tell me how long I should speak? That is.
Yeah, I think it's for an hour, Maharajji. I mean, so it totally depends on you. I mean, as you want to continue.
I should not. So, friends, this is almost the time that I should stop, and then the question answer will be there. So, a son, that is Kapila, and Kapila is a great philosopher. You know the Samkhya philosophy that was made by him. Why the Supreme Lord, the Vishnu, had to take the human form as a Kapila to develop a philosophy, because the human society grow in that way. All these years, the rishis, the munis, they never asked questions. They knew that there is a supreme truth, and that is Brahman, and I have to realize the Brahman because that is my real nature. Why I can't realize that? Because my desire. Where is the desire? In my mind. So what is the mind? In my thought. Where from the thought comes? From my past karma. So that American lady was telling karma phala, she is correct. This karma phala, this is the all result of our karma. What type of karma? Physical, then mental, the manasika, bhachika karma. When we speak, when we say something, that is also karma. Suppose a small young boy has come and he told Swamiji, I like to study hard, but my mind is not concentrating on the subject. Then if I guide him, oh no, it's not necessary, you better leave all the study and go and meditate, and then is it a good teaching? No, because at that time he is not ready to understand this spiritual knowledge. He wants to be successful. Then we have to guide properly. If you read the Gospel of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, when one sub-judge, he was a judge in those days. A sub-judge means, you can understand, in the British time is a great post, and is a magistrate. The other, they are coming to Sri Ramakrishna. They are asking, sir, should we have to leave our hearth and home, our family, to realize God? What was the answer of Sri Ramakrishna? Never. Why should you? You should not do that. Be there. Master Masha, the recorder of the conversation of Sri Ramakrishna, he was a teacher. He wanted to leave the house. Sri Ramakrishna should, no, you should not. Be there as a teacher and give the proper education along with the morality to the students. So that will be the greatest contribution of a teacher. And the dramatist, when he came, Sri Ramakrishna told, through the drama you can give the moral teaching, the highest values in the human life. So teach that. Don't leave that position. Only from there slowly go to how? Swadharma. That is exactly the Kapila told, the Swadharma. I am a teacher, I am a professor, I am the doctor, I am an engineer, I am a professional. In whatever I am there, I should perform my duty perfectly and as best as possible, and then I should give it to God. This is my conception, this is my idea, and this way I can present to you, and then it is up to you, God. Well, because you have given me this idea, this conception, this capacity, so this best I can give it to you, and not much. So that is the way we have to understand, and satisfaction should be there. Now, one of our young brother, he has come, Sarvapriya, he is a great orator, and whatever he says, whatever, we know those things, but his way of delivery is so wonderful. And the command of the English language is wonderful, and he is attracting the minds of so many people. That is good. And sometimes our Chaya will invite me and I will also speak to 15 people. What is there? No problem. That is my capacity. So I go for the 15 and he goes for the 15,000. But that is the God has given to him and God has given to me, and this is the way we have to understand. Satisfaction is mine. Sometimes the singer, they are frustrated. Sometimes the actor, actresses, they are becoming frustrated. And the professionals becoming frustrated. Never. This is my capacity. This is me. If you like me, okay. If you don't like, okay. I am fine. So this is the way one should go. So never ever try to imitate others and feel jealous. And that is the practical Vedanta. I understand this, and from here I should start. The one person, he called me, many phone call comes, I don't know why, they listen to someone else and they'll be calling to me and I have to explain all those. But okay, he was telling, Swamiji, I don't have mind. Now what should I do? I told, you don't have mind. So there's no problem then. Why you are thinking that what you should do? Because you don't have mind. No, because I heard that lecture, they say, I am not the mind, I am not this body, I am not this self. So now what should I do? I told, what you have cooked today, you eat and sleep, that is sufficient. Don't bother about all those things. So we have to understand what is my position. Suddenly if I go and sit in the position of the physics teacher, physics professor, I won't understand anything. But for me, going and putting the finger and getting the light That is sufficient physics for me. I need not to understand all those technical things. This is, now I go and the zoom, click over here, click over there, zoom. So why I have to understand all those things? I am satisfied because, so friends, we have to be satisfied. And now what is this satisfaction? Understanding the truth. What is the truth? This world is temporary. Everything in my life is temporary. And by this time, through our experience, through ages, we have understood. The young people they don't. So, but we have understood everything is nothing but temporary. Everything is temporary. Then if it is so, whatever the leftover is there in my life, maybe another 20 years, 30, 35 years, whatever, I should utilize it to understand the truth. And what is that truth? That never changes. What is that? Never changes. That is God. That is Brahman. And how to go over there according to my temperament. If I understand, I can go and cry, keeping my head on the lap of Divine Mother, Ma Sharada. I should do that. I may understand the Vedanta. This is Vedanta. This world is temporary and God is only eternal. This is Vedanta. The one disciple, he stopped coming, visiting Sri Ramakrishna. Sri Ramakrishna, he told, why he is not visiting? What happened to him? Then they said that he is studying Vedanta. Well, ask him to come at least once. So he came and he told, hey, why you are not coming to me? No, I think that talking with you is a wastage of time. So I am studying Vedanta. He told to Sri Ramakrishna. Then Sri Ramakrishna told, what is there in your Vedanta? Brahma Sattva Jagad Mithya. Is there anything else? This world is illusory and the Brahman is the truth. Is there anything else? But in this world, I am telling it is untruth, but at the same time, I want to know how many people are listening my lecture. How many people is liking this talk, my activities. Why? If the world is untrue, why you are thinking for that? So don't be hypocrite. Never ever. Swamiji said, I can stand everything but hypocrisy. But in the life, don't become hypocrite. I understand this, and what is that? My mother is there. Because Ma Sharadamani Devi told, those who are taking the name of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, do you think that name is ordinary? No. Those who are taking the name of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he will reveal before them, wherever they are, at least before their death. Shall you not believe that? So God is there in the form of Father, in the form of Mother. Let me develop that faith and let me go and cry before that. I don't know how to purify my mind and what is that purification. But I want you. God will guide you. And that is called the teachings of the Bhagavata. The Kapila gave the philosophy, that philosophy analyzing different things. But in brief, this world is the composition of different things which has come from God. The God has given so many bad things and God has given so many good things. Don't go for the bad, go for the good. Who is telling? God is himself. So he is telling, see, I have created this venom, the poison, and I have created this amrit, this nectar. Now you better go for the nectar. Don't go for this. Now why you have created this venom? Why you have created this poison? If I go and fight with the God, it is of no use. It is better to listen to him. So take the name of God and dedicate your mind to the God, which is the goal. Thank you very much. I have taken some extra time, I think. But this is a very interesting conversation. The Kapila Upadesha, there is a separate book. And if you have the Bhagavata, complete Bhagavata, that also you can read. This is the 3rd skanda. And from 23rd the chapter, up to the 40 chapter, this is the conversation, and really very good. And particularly, don't forget to go through the 26 good qualities that has been listed in the Bhagavad Gita, 16 chapter, first 3 verses. And let there be our goal. Develop, just write down, in this year, I am going to develop 3 qualities out of 26. Next year, another 3. 6 qualities. Next year 9 qualities. Before death, if we can reach with 12 qualities, you are liberated. Thank you.
Thank you, Maharaji, for this wonderful talk. So I think we have maybe at least one question, and while this question is coming up, I will also request others to probably raise your hand in the order, so we can ask some. So any questions you have, so probably go from there. Only Parthoda, please go ahead and ask your question. And I think Kamlesh ji also had raised her hand, and if she wanted to ask her question, yeah.
Okay. Namaskar, Swamiji.
Namaskar.
Namaskar. When you started, you said you were giving the history of Bhagavatam, and then you mentioned the name of King Parikshit. Is the King Parikshit is the grandson of Arjuna?
Yes. Right. The whole Bhagavata is that conversation between the Shukadeva and the Parikshita.
Oh, okay.
And Parikshit, he was cursed by a Brahmin boy that he will die, because Parikshit made a mistake. Though he was from the great family of the Pandavas, and he himself was a devoted person, he was thirsty, and he went for as a king for some game. And then when he was returning back, became thirsty, entered into a heart, and then one gentleman was meditating. He told him, "Can you please give me some water?" Since he was meditating, he didn't listen. That he became angry. There was a dead snake. He kept the snake on the shoulder of the man and left. Then the young boy of 8 years or 10 years, he was playing some outside. Then his friends told, "Hey, you are playing over here, and the king came, insulted your father." And he was highly respected Brahmin. And this boy, without going back and see, and a young boy, and the Brahmin boy, he was having tremendous power. He cursed immediately that if anyone has insulted my father, he will die by the snake that he has put over there on the shoulder of my father. That very snake will bite him and kill him within 7 days.
Oh.
But look at it, though he was a king, the Parikshit, he could go and tell, take back your curse and all this. He never did like that. He told, I rather accept it as then he, Janmejai, Parikshit's son, he became the king, and Parikshit went by the side of the river and made a small hut and started sat over there and started doing the meditation, expecting the death to come. When this news spreaded, then hundreds of monks and the ascetics, they all went and sat over there. Why, you know? This Parikshit was saved when he was in the womb of his mother Uttara, and by Sri Krishna. And because what is that? The son of that Acharya Dronacharya's son. So Ashwatthama, correct. And Dronacharya's son, he tried to kill all the Pandavas and also the son who was in the womb. So Krishna protected that child, and that time he saw the face of Krishna, and he wanted to see the same face and know about him. Now when he was sitting over there, all these people, the monks, they are thinking some type of miracle will happen. So they wanted to be there. Krishna will come. But instead of Krishna, this the sage went over there, Shukadeva, and talked about the Krishna.
Oh, okay. Maharaj, just a follow-up question, another one. This Parikshit, after the Kurukshetra war, the 18 days war was over, is it Parikshit who took the throne?
No, not immediately after.
No.
Not immediately after. Almost 30 years they ruled. Pandavas.
30 years they ruled. Okay.
After that, they decided that they will retire and go back, and they gave the Parikshit. By that time, Parikshit was almost 35 years old.
Okay. And then, during the middle of the talk, you define what really the religion is. And you said that whatever, if you promise something, you must do it, you know. This is a very unique definition of
Dharma.
Dharma. And is it taken from Kathamrita? Is it, yeah.
So now actually this is my idea, and I have not read in this line that keeping the word is dharma. No, I didn't read in this way. But if you notice in the Upanishad, where the father, he was asking his son, because he became angry, but Nachiketa, that young boy, he was asking that he saw that his father was actually cheating the other people. He wanted to give all those things, but instead of giving the good thing,
Katha Upanishad.
In the Katha Upanishad, we find when the father told that you go to the king of death, then he said, no, just I said, you need not to do that. Then the son, he told, Anupashya yatha purve, pratipashya tatha apare, shashyamiva martha pachyate, shashyamiva ajayate punaha. Father, look at your previous, the ancestors, they always kept the words, they never broke it. And if you are breaking now, after you, the people who will come, they will never keep the promises. And what will be the life of a human being? Like the grasses, just taking birth and dying. So keeping the word is that. Now in the Purana we find there's a king, he said, after being king, whoever comes to me I will protect. So they became birds like the Dharma and also the Indra. They came as a falcon and the pigeon, and the king told, I will save you, to the pigeon. Pigeon came and told king, please save me. And the falcon came and told, is my food, give me some, that my food. Then the king told, I will give you some meat, you need meat, I will give you meat. Well, okay, your meat from your own body you have to give. And king told, it's okay. So the scale that put that pigeon, but the pigeon went on becoming heavy and heavier and heavier. And king was going on cutting almost at the verge of death. Then these two took the form of the god and told, no, you are not going to die. We were only examining whether you keep your promise or not. So keeping the promise is the dharma. And as I told the example, Sri Ramakrishna, he kept his promise. And Swami Vivekananda kept his promise. And whatever, each and every one, we find keeping the promise is the dharma. So if we do that, the society will transform. We need not to go to temple or this and that. This COVID has made a good thing. You stop visiting temple and there's a mosque and churches. People are now seriously studying the scripture. People are now seriously meditating and trying to understand themselves. Unnecessarily, in big group, they will go and make only entertainment over there and no knowledge. So dharma is nothing but keeping the words.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
In Hindi they say, Vada kiya, to Vada nibhane padega. Then in Hindi, in Bengali if you say, Kotha rakhte hobe, it is not that strong. The language is a soft language. But in Hindi, Vada kiya, to Vada nibhane padega. Vada means promise. You have promised, or you have to keep. The soldiers, they keep the words because they take the promise. If our politicians also do the same, and everyone in different places, in the churches if you go before marriage, the beautiful promises they take. And all you Hindus, when you marry, go round that fire 7 times. 7 times you take 7 oaths. The man will say, I will protect you as a husband. And the wife will say, I will be always supporting you as the wife. So like that 7 promises. If you type those promises and keep on the freeze of your family, then there will be no breakup. Just see those promises and keep that, and there will be no breakup. And that's why Swami Sri Ramakrishna also is telling, as his husband, I have taken the oath that I will protect you to mother. But I am going to die. And he is incurring in that time to mother. How much money is necessary for you to maintain for a month? I will collect those funds and keep for you. Can you imagine? That is called keeping the promise. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Kamleshji, I think you had a question. You raised your hand once. Do you have a question?
Namaskar everyone, Swamiji and our participant. I just pardon me, it was done by mistake.
Okay, no problem. No problem.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody else having a question? Oh, okay. Vasu, you go ahead, please. Yeah, Vasu, unmute yourself and.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, please. Yes.
Vasu, yes.
Namaskar Swamiji, my name is Vasudha. One of the characters that I read in I think it was chapter 16 verse 1 to 3, that you were saying that every year we should try and imbibe 3 of them. One of them was restraint from fault finding.
And yes. You're talking about the chapter 16 and first 3 verses.
1, 2, 3, yes. So I was just going through those different characters that we need to imbibe, and one of them was restraint from fault finding. I look at this in a different perspective, because for me, I need to continuously evolve and grow. And if we don't know our faults, we don't know how to improve, right?
Now your fault then, fault finding in others.
Then if there are people, if there are people around me, I would want them also, because sometimes it's, you get a different perspective when it comes from someone else, from a third party. And if I see someone close to me who's headed in the wrong direction, I would want to kind of put them in the right path.
Correct. That is not fault finding. Fault finding means, so you don't like a person, and maybe he's a very good singer, but still you will say, what type of singer he is.
Okay.
And that is called fault finding. Even in good, you see bad thing. That is called fault finding. But it is rectification that you are doing. There's some of the things that I am not having, I should develop that. This is called rectification. It is not fault finding.
Okay. Thank you.
There's a very good question. There's fault finding. Ma Shardamani Devi also said, don't find fault with others. So when we were young at the Brahmachari in Advaita Ashram, then one of our Swamiji used to say, when sometimes naturally a group of young boys and together, so we used to say, he is not, my roommate was there, he'll be studying up to 2 o'clock, I can't sleep, so I went and complained. So he is not allowing me to sleep and all that, like that. So when I was putting the finger, this finger particularly, he is not. Then the Swami told, have you noticed that you are using one finger to blame him, but all your three fingers are pointing to you? So you are to be blamed. So that was a new thing that I learned. So this one finger, and you know, in the Hinduism, this particular finger is not used for any spiritual work. Even at the time of the counting the beads, they don't touch this finger, because this finger is always used to show the complaint, the fault of others. You are to blame, and like this finger. So that's why this particular finger they don't use for the holy work. They always use other three, and also the thumb, but not this finger. So don't find fault with others. Try to appreciate others' qualities.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so do we have any more question? Maybe I have one, but
please do.
I will go at the end. If anybody else has an extra set of questions. Anand uncle, just go ahead and ask.
I have one question.
Yeah, Ananda Babu. Huh?
Yes. Maharaj, my question is very ordinary, common man question. That is, there are a lot of stories in Puranas. Some of them from the modern concept point of view, some of them look really weird. And are these stories meant for illustration of principle, and those never took place, those incidents never took place in practice, just illustration purposes, they build these stories?
This Purana is a history and also some mythology that club together. The majority of the characters that they depict is a historical character, but at the same time they will put some stories on that and give you some example so that you can understand that correctly. So that is the way it always goes. The Purana is helping us to understand the ideology, the ideals into practice. How one can do that? Like in the Purana you will find the father was very angry on the son, so he threw that the son into the fire, and the god protected him. Then he threw him from the top of the mountain, the god protected him. So that was the Prahlada. So that is the story it goes. God can do anything if he likes, but the story goes in this way, that if you are taking the refuge in God, God will also protect you. So that is the Purana is not that the cock and bull story. The history is there, characters are there, but at the same time they give the mixture of the stories so that we can understand. It's like an explanation of like Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, he will teach you something, immediately he will give you an example. That examples are necessary, stories are necessary, and we remember that. When the society was growing up, and particularly I have noticed in Bengal, when we were young boys and children, so the drama they used to perform, and the Dhruva, then the Parikshit, and this type of all these characters they used to enact over there, and the villagers who were not that way educated, they used to get the wonderful essence of the story, and the characters used to improve. So this morality through the stories, that is the main idea of the Puranas. Okay. Anything else?
Okay, if anybody else has a question or not? Okay, so probably Maharajji, I will ask you a very small question at the end of this. And after the question, I think a few devotees would like to talk to you for a few minutes. If you please, encourage them to talk to you about this. Okay, so my question is, in fact, you talked about the mind-born and the self-born, right? Now, is there a difference between this, between these two things, and the people who are mind-born? Are they, do they consist of the highest values, eki of sattva, or is it something that you're born, and you actually raise to that level of what you call the sattva? So that's it. Yeah.
This is, see that our Swami Brahmananda of the Ramakrishna order, which is known as the Rakhal Maharaj. So they say he's the mind-born son of Sri Ramakrishna. So one day Sri Ramakrishna prayed to the Divine Mother, Mother, I want a son like me, and I want to help him to grow like me. Then the mother, Sri Ramakrishna was an ascetic, and he was practicing the brahmacharya. So suddenly one day he saw in his meditation the mother is putting a son on his the lap, and after some time he became surprised. He went to the Divine Mother and told, but I am a monk. The mother told, your son will come. Then one day he saw the Rakhal Maharaj. He was at that time 15, 16 years old. The moment he saw, he understood that this is my son. So he used to consider Rakhal Maharaj as his son, and then Swamiji told, mind-born son of Sri Ramakrishna. And the same way here, particularly, you can imagine how the creation is coming. The Hindus, they believe in this way, the creation from the God. If the God is exhausting himself in creating so many varieties, then there will be no God remaining, isn't it? It cannot be. So how the God has created? It says through Maya. What is the Maya? Maya, we can say, an imagination. But when that comes in the dream, as if, the example is a dream, we are also creating our own world. And sometimes the worlds are very happy world for us, and we don't like to get out of that in the dream. The body is not working, only mind. And in the mind I saw my friend, the people whom I like, and everything is so wonderful. Another day I create all these people are against me, I am suffering, crying. Who is creating? Mind. How I am creating? Imagining. So God's creation is just like that. But for us, this moment, we do not understand. So we suffer. Now another example we can say, when we were children, the kite and the marble, those were so things that we were not ready to part with anything. So even at the time of the going to bed, we used to keep some marble in the pocket, the good marbles, so no one should take it. So I was so attached to that marble. Or the girls playing with the dolls, so attached to the dolls. And they are talking with the dolls, they are bathing the dolls, they are feeding the dolls. And if you look at them, you will say, hey, what they are doing? But for them it is the real world. And they can hear the doll is crying. They can feel the doll is hungry. How you are going to explain? But that same girl, when grew up to a lady, she can understand, oh, that was all imagination. The same way now, we are thinking that this world is real, and I am so and so. But Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna will say, this is all your imagination, boy. One day will come, you will understand that it was just your imagination. It was not real. The spiritual world is just experience. Through the experience of this worldly life, understanding that I am not this body, I am not this mind, and all around me, whoever are there, are so temporary, all the faces will change, and time will come when this body and mind will also won't be there. Only my soul, the consciousness. So I am conscious to be guided. that it should go back to the source, not to any other part. That is the whole of spiritual life, going back to the source. And that understanding, and the path, 4 different paths, karma yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga, bhakti yoga, and mainly 2, they say bhakti and jnana. And Bhagavata is the combination of the knowledge and devotion, bhakti and jnana. That's why the Bhagavata is so important.
Okay, thank you, Swamiji. So I think probably there are a few folks who would like to actually just talk to you and offer their pranams. And so I invite them to probably raise their hands, and let's do it in maybe one by one. So anybody who wants to go first. I know there are a few people.
Maybe you need to unmute them.
The Chaya, how are you?
I will unmute.
Pranam Maharaj, I'm good.
Very good. And then the Uma Mukherjee. Uma, how are you, Uma?
Okay, probably I will unmute.
Yes. I will go like this. The picture that I can see.
Probably Mahendra.
Mahendra, I don't see. The Uma is there. Uma Mukherjee, are you there?
I'll try to unmute everybody.
Okay.
Can you see the Uma Mukherjee? I don't know, sometimes. Acha Chaudhary, B. Chaudhary. How are you?
I think we all can unmute ourselves. If you want to, I can unmute myself.
Yes, please go ahead. And let's keep it short and simple, okay? So that everybody gets chance to talk.
You have muted Maharaj.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Unmute, yeah.
Unmute. Yeah, now I am unmuted myself. Then Madan Babu, how are you?
Pranam Maharaj.
Namaskar.
Really like the talk. It's really
Very good.
fulfilling.
Okay. Then Prashant Babu, how are you? You have to unmute yourself. Yeah.
আমি খুব ভালো লেগেছে, খুব সুন্দর লাগছে, আপনাকে অনেকদিন বাদে পেলাম কাছে। আর নন্দিতা অফিসে আছে, ও মিস করছে এটা। তো
Are you recording it? No, I don't think, no?
Yes, we are, Maharaj.
এখন রেকর্ড বন্ধ করলে।
Okay.
মহারাজ, আপনি আমাদের এত প্রিয়, আমাকে কাছে পেলেই খুব ভালো লাগে। তো খুব ভালো লাগে।
Maybe in 2021 কখনো যাওয়া হবে একবার। আচ্ছা। হ্যাঁ, চৌধুরী দিদি ভালো আছেন তো?
হ্যাঁ, ভালো আছি। মহারাজ প্রণাম।
নমস্কার।
আমাদের আশীর্বাদ করবেন।
আচ্ছা।
মানে হার্ড টাইমের মধ্যে দিয়ে সবাই যাচ্ছে।
হ্যাঁ।
প্রার্থনা করবেন আমাদের জন্য। খুব ভালো লাগলো আপনাকে দেখে।
নিশ্চয়। হ্যাঁ। তারপরে দেবলীনা নন্দী, আর ইউ দেয়ার?
মহারাজ প্রণাম মহারাজ।
আচ্ছা দেবলীনা, বাহ খুব ভালো
আছেন আপনি? ভালো আছেন? লাস্ট ইয়ার দেখা হয়েছিল।
লাস্ট ইয়ার হ্যাঁ, খুবই ভালো। Then I went, so now you have purchased another house, right?
Right.
That the Chaya or extended?
Yes, Maharaj, 2 houses now.
Now 2 houses, right?
Yeah. So you need to maybe 2021, Maharaj. So when things get better.
Will come.
মহারাজ আসেননি অনেকদিন তাহলে?
No.
না মহারাজ অনেকদিন আসেনি। মহারাজ টকটা খুব ভালো হয়েছে মহারাজ।
Thank you very much. And talk মানে কি জানেন, এটা হচ্ছে মনের কথা, বুঝলেন? ঠিক অত বক্তা ব্যাপারটা না, ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে একটু মনের কথা বলা, যাতে ওই যে কথাগুলো, when I am speaking to you, I am reminding myself also the time is short in our life and we have to develop some good qualities so that at least God will say yes, come. Otherwise, if the desires are there again another birth we'll have to take. All of us, we are going to be liberated someday. That Swamiji said, all are flowing to the same direction. But if we are conscious, we will go beyond this. And how we will become conscious? When you understand this life with all its beauty all around is not true. So like the dream. Some people like me, they love me, but the relation within few days it will all break. So like that only, if we understand. The more you understand, more it become all right. So Akhan, Haran Babu is there. Haran Babu, are you there? I can't see.
Pranam Maharaj.
Acha Haran Babu. Namaskar, namaskar.
Maharaj, আমাদের খুব ভালো লেগেছে আপনার লেকচারটা।
আচ্ছা আচ্ছা।
Very good. I mean, in one word, if we keep our promise, that is
yes.
That is excellent.
So, I always say two things. What is God? God is love and unselfishness. Just remember these two. That God is love and unselfishness. And we are having the love within our heart, but the love is our small love for our kith and kin, love for our neighbors, only love for our our own society, religion. But that love, when break the boundary and embraces everyone, that is called spiritual love. That is godly. And unselfishness is also we are having. We share so many things with others. We earn money and then we share with our relatives, our friends, our society. We are unselfish. But when that becomes the complete unselfishness, that is called God. So love and unselfishness is God. And keeping the promise is the dharma. It's that simple.
Thank you very much.
Achha. Kalpana. Kalpana is talking? Kalpana? No. Raka. Is Raka? Are you there?
Pranam Maharaj.
Acha Raka. Okay.
Bani.
Acha Raka. Acha, very good. Very good. And so wonderful. Nishant is there. Nishant?
Pranam Maharaj.
Okay, Nishant. Thank you.
Wonderful talk.
Acha. Then Kamalesh is there. Kamalesh ji, I think we talked to you, right, Kamalesh ji? I don't know whether they are there or not. Kamalesh. Okay then, Shonak. Then we say.
Yeah, Maharajji, thank you so much. And and we always look forward to seeing you. And I think before we go, Anand uncle might say maybe 1-2 sentences, and then we can
Anandji,
close the session.
Maharaj, it was so exciting speech, practical aspects. You have made Bhagavad Gita so sweet.
Bhagavatam.
It is so sweet, and it points to all practical sadhanas householders can do. That is all within our reach, nothing to get confused over conception of too many theories. This is more practical, Maharaj. Thank you so much, and on behalf of VCGA, we thank you for giving this message. Keeping promise is another message. And we wholeheartedly thank you. And I thank all those who participated today and asked some interesting questions, and the very enthusiastic answers and the questions. Everything was so good. And please come and participate in future events as well. And that is it from my side. And now, Shonak.
So, Maharajji, thank you so much again. And we look forward to seeing you. Probably very soon on Zoom, or maybe in person next year.
Very good. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to see the faces. So many of them I know. This is like the family meeting,
Yeah.
And Are you?
Maharaj, come soon, Maharaj.
Okay.
Again. It's a really blessing speech you gave it to us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And there's Chaya. Are you? Your ashrama is open. People are coming.
No, some of us we go, Maharaj, but it's not open.
Okay. The same thing to our ashrama also. So sometimes some people may come, but it is not open. And about the new project, that Home of Harmony, the church that we took, so it is taking long time to get the permission because that was a Protestant church, and we like to have the rooms for the monks, for the guests. So it will be like the Catholic. So it's taking little time. Almost everything is done, but and the authority, they don't like that so many workers will go and work in that area. So they are slowly, part by part, they are giving the permission. So I think this year nothing will happen. Next year in 2021, some program we will inaugurate over there. So let us say Shanti, 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 and Joy Thakur, Joy Ma, Joy Swamiji. I will say, you can repeat with me. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om. Jai Bhagavan Sri Rama Krishna Dev ki Jai. Jai Mahamai ki Jai. Jai Swamiji Maharaj ji ki Jai. ভালো থাকবেন, সুস্থ থাকবেন সবাই।
প্রণাম মহারাজ।